Hi, welcome back to AlextheRed&More. Hope you're doing well today. So this is a bit of a video to go into whether Liverpool can sustain a title challenge with ManCity this season. There are several factors in this to consider. Firstly, I must go into the next two away games, as the results from those will be even critical at this stage as to whether we go on to challenge ManCity this season. So that's Tottenham away this coming Saturday and Brighton away the following weekend. If we were to win both those games, there's also a chance ManCity drop a point before the next international break, and that put us at least level with City on points. So that is the absolute best case scenario to happen, and then many would really start to believe Liverpool can definitely challenge to win the Premier League this season. However, if we say a lot lose both, we only get 1 point from the game, or 1 point from some of those games, and Man City go on to win both the next two games, including Arsenal away, then you would have to say finishing set, Liverpool can still finish at least second, but will not be any sort of title race with Man City because their points lead, even though it's early on, will be extended to it, or at least 7 or 8, wouldn't it? And then it'd just be Liverpool trying to only be the best of the rest again, as I thought at the start of the season so far. So yeah, I hope Liverpool definitely need to win at least one of those games, or to have any chance of staying in the race with City, and make sure they capitalise on any City slip up. So a winning F those games, and there may still be the chance. And then so another factor will also be if Liverpool can do any reinforcements in January, especially because I still feel squad-wise we still need at least 2 more players to be able to run out the full season, with many games coming thick and fast, as I expect Liverpool to be in Europa League knockouts by the start of March, and that's when the business end of the season fully kicks in. So Liverpool, even though Quants is still doing very well, and Gomez has even exceeded expectations for myself so far, we still could do at least another centre back, considering Matip's injury prone, and even Gomez has an injury prone there and then. So one more centre back could be the target, and also maybe an additional more DM person, or a central midfield more on defensive side. That's another one to come in, and that's actually probably more likely than the centre back, considering we've kept him for the fact that Andre from Brazil would be available to come to Liverpool in January. So I'm still hoping that's the case, considering he may still well be the Thiago replacement, but he could even still extend. But we definitely need someone like him who's younger, and he definitely looks like the tough type to handle the Premier League. So yeah, someone like him would definitely do well to compete with City's midfield strength, especially like Rodri. And one more thing, the other thing to consider is key players, or the key players staying fit or uninjured throughout the whole season. So there's 3 players that absolutely cannot have a long injury if they've bought to stay in a title race this season. First one comes to mind is obviously Szoboszlai. He's definitely the most important signing of the season for Liverpool so far, and is definitely a revolutionary player who's more class even at this stage for myself and other Liverpool fans. And if he has any long injury, then I'd have to say the title race for Liverpool won't be one. And also, we definitely do not want Diaz being injured again, as he's looked really good so far, especially in the first 2 games of this season, as he saw happen last season. Imagine if he didn't get that injury last season, Liverpool may have even finished in the top 4. So he's another one to look out for. And also another one you don't want injured is Konate, as I still feel he's definitely more of a key centre back than Virgil van Dijk, as he's a lot younger and definitely looks a better centre back now and more stable than him. Whereas Virgil's getting to that more old stage where he's not at his best compared to his first 2 full seasons at Liverpool. So any long injury for Konate, and it will definitely be a struggle for Liverpool. But in conclusion to this, I'll just say take each game as it comes so far. You can only take it game by game so far, and Liverpool definitely at minimum a top 3 side this season. We're definitely finishing at least third. So and so there won't be any sort of like last day thing to get into top 4, because we have a way better attack than only ManCity's attack is definitely way better than it's only definitely better than Liverpool's, but Liverpool's is way better than the rest. They will definitely look probably the sharpest of the rest so far in some of the departments as well. So all to say is be patient and keep our game and don't lose any heads unnecessarily. Who knows? I'm out.